This San Diego Chargers team preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is giving away $15 million at Best Ball Mania 5. Sign up with promo code SGPN to claim your first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's college football and NFL picks and projections are now live. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Super. Thanks for asking, Sean.
Super indeed. Joining us in studio for the Los Angeles, formerly San Diego Superchargers, San Diego's Chargers superfan, Justin Decker. What's happening, Decker?
Bolt up, boys. Feeling great. Today's a new day, a new opportunity to be better than yesterday.
What is that? Harbaugh?
That's
yeah,
already
I'm getting my Harbaughisms.
Yeah,
Nice.
I sent.
So what do you go to church once a week, or how does that work?
I think his first thing that went viral, he's already gone viral, I think 3 or 4 times in training camp. The comparing training camp to coming out of the womb, really enjoyed that analogy.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's clever. Man talked about pussy on his during his press conference. He is amazing. And if you're looking at the thumbnail, beautiful broken finger.
Oh, that is a true football hand if I've ever seen it.
Embodies Harbaugh.
One of my favorite ones the years ago was with Michigan, where they said, "You still get nervous before the games?" He's like, "No, I'm like dead inside. It's like my chest is just like hollowed out wood. I just want to get pumped. It's just pumped. Ready for football."
I did when he was moving. I guess he moved from Michigan, then was briefly. Well, yeah, we didn't even get to talk about it because he was briefly living in an RV park, and I in our group text with you, me, and Scott Bowser. I go, we got to figure out what RV park he's in, and I immediately guessed, Huntington Beach, and then
on
it was
the first
revealed.
one you got
first guess, I nailed it, Huntington Beach. That was an awesome pull.
Sean's been waiting for this
Oh, it's a
episode.
great. I completely forgot about it.
Sean's been waiting to have someone verify this tout.
And it was 100 first guess. I was thinking maybe Hermosa Beach because that's kind
too
of
many libs there.
yeah, that's kind of near the new facility that they were building. I kind of had that.
Yeah, I would have
And
guessed somewhere closer to San Diego, honestly.
Huntington Beach, just perfect. It's just the upper
Locked in.
peninsula.
Him and Greg
Michigan
Roman him and Greg Roman hanging out in RVs, just talking ball. I mean, that's Smash Mouth.
Here's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing they're the kind of guys that they have the porch for the RV. They have a nice table, like more than your standard folding chairs and shitty table, like maybe something even made out of wood. And then they carried a picnic table over, and I'm gonna guess they had a rug. I'm gonna guess they put down a rug outside of their RV to make the home a little. I have a feeling Harbaugh has been dying to do this ever since he slept over with that punter.
Do we know?
Michigan.
Do we know he's in a house yet? I think we all just kind of assume he's in a house, but we don't know that yet.
I don't know actually.
So
Yeah,
I will
don't know.
say, as someone like Harbaugh, I've been doing the youth sports thing this weekend, and the dream of most youth sports parents is to have some sort of adventure van or RV where you can literally just pull up wherever you're going to be for the day and also be able to take a nap. So I wouldn't be surprised if Harbaugh's doing the Minshew, parked
Living in the van,
parked in the parking lot. Like, hey, my commute's super. I'm saving money.
Yeah.
It's. Did he buy a house?
You know,
Have
I
you
haven't heard
scouted that?
No, I haven't heard that yet.
We'll
It's
have
not
to
important
update
for
that.
Harbaugh. He's not. He's only living in.
Although when he moved from Michigan, he had a yard sale that I didn't find
that's
out
what I
about
was-
until the day of. Just a normal guy with a yard. Are you kidding me?
Imagine
I would have bought anything you had.
Yeah, that would have been great. Just get some hangers from Jim Harbaugh.
Harbaugh on real estate prices in Southern California.
Oh man, he must not be loving these prices. But Decker, yeah, I mean that would have been awesome to score some score some swag from Harbaugh's.
Yeah, it's like one of
yeah.
those things where it is cool, but then there's the other side of that, which is that you could have scored anything from Adrian Peterson's closet if you wanted it.
Oh yeah,
Like some socks, a tie.
Everything must go. Unfortunately,
What do you think the coolest thing Harbaugh sold at his garage sale?
I mean, anything just from his house, I would buy it.
A
Are you
hammer?
kidding?
No, he still needs his hammer.
No?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Michigan
I don't
gear,
know.
probably. He's moving on.
Yeah.
He's moving on.
All right, we'll talk a little Los Angeles, aka San Diego Superchargers. Last year, 2023, they were 5-12 straight up, 6-11 ATS. Their win total was at 9.5. They went under. Both Ryan and I had the over, so we were wrong. Our record now, I'm 7-4. Kramer's 6-5 as far as last year's win totals. Justin, I looked it up. He was on the under. He was not
finally.
believing. Now,
first
like
time.
I'm remembering the episode, he was against it. Tried to talk us out of
Finally.
it.
The first time in 5 years I was under on them. I always
yeah.
have been over.
I mean, you were out on the coach. I do think there is an element of you were on team Herbert,
I
not
was
team
just
Staley.
already moving on from Staley.
I will say, there was a point towards the end of the season where you were starting to fantasize about coaches.
Oh yeah.
This couldn't have been. You couldn't have even fantasized about what.
For a while, it was Bill Belichick. I was like, he's going to be out. I'm surprised he didn't have a job, but I mean, I would have been stoked with that, to be honest with you.
Bringing Bill Belichick, defensive coordinator. Chargers, they were
Imagine Bill and Harbaugh just hanging out.
Couple Rams button heads. They were 3-8 in close games, 0-7 Decker in games decided by 3 points or less.
God.
Look at all that positive regression, dude, for the Chargers this year.
Based on fourth quarter win probabilities, they should have won 8.2 games. The 3.2 win gap is tied for the 13th largest of any team since 2000. That's the Staley effect right there. Like even in games where maybe obviously Herbert, the injury that was pretty big, but they had some decent moments from Easton Stick, a couple of the other guys. It did all hit the wall though against the Raiders where they lost 63-21. That was like, all right, we're all gonna quit.
And then Staley bragged about not being blown out in games, and then they lost. That's right before
That
they
was
lost
right before they lost
62-20 or whatever.
Yeah,
Yes.
63-21.
It's like we're right in games. We're not getting blown out.
Decker, you were also emphatic that Justin Herbert was going to hit over his rushing yards. He did hit that, even though he didn't play a full season. So that was Decker's favorite prop last year.
Yeah,
that came in. We should have listened to Decker, Ryan.
Did that really hit? I actually didn't know that. I gave up on it. Did it really hit
Yeah,
in
I think-
only 11 games?
Yeah,
That's
he had
how
like
good-
230. I think
That's how good of a handicap. It was.
Wow. Yeah, that was an easy one.
So let's take a look what we're doing personnel wise, big picture. Kramer, what's your big picture on the Los Angeles Chargers? To me, I like what they're doing. I'm a huge backer of Harbaugh. The problem is they're already expecting it to work day one, and oh no, it's already begun. Ladd McConkey came up limping after catching team drills. Joey Bosa left one-on-ones and ran inside with the trainer. But really, Justin Herbert dealing with plantar fascia. Decker, any inside scoop on the plantar fascia?
Oh, dude, I've been researching that a lot. But first of all, we're looking at a screen. For those of you listening, we're looking at a screen that says departures, and it takes up the whole. It almost doesn't fit on the screen. But
Oh,
anyway,
you really cleaned house.
Yeah,
Keenan Allen,
it's
big name.
a lot of departures.
Austin Ekeler, big name.
no, but yeah, the plantar fascia. From what I've watched a lot of TikToks on this. I follow like doctors of like sports doctors, and they keep coming in my feed, and I just watch them the longest. But it's not like fasciitis where you can kind of give it a shot and then you can play through it. It's just pain. It's a strain of that big tendon. So it's kind of a thing where it may not come back, it may not result, but he's going to be limited for like a long time.
Yeah, like the whole season.
But it could get worse. That's the thing. So he shouldn't play in the preseason. He might want to sit out the first couple games because those games are easy. It's the Raiders and the Panthers.
Wow.
Whoa.
But it's not easy without him. I mean, without him, who the fuck knows?
Kramer
Okay,
Kramer likes the Raiders week one. Decker,
No, get it. Well, if he doesn't play,
in LA.
No. No, Kramer likes the
All right.
Raiders outright in Los Angeles with Justin Herbert starting. Even when Justin Herbert was healthy, Kramer was all in.
It's
on
true.
this.
Wow.
It's true. Antonio Pierce is going to put up the signal. They're all the Raiders fans are going to be.
But
there.
yeah, I think it's a serious injury. Like it fucking sucks. And it could last. It could keep him from running.
And it's the worst kind of injury because, to your point, he's probably not going to just sit out. He's going to
play through
shoot it up, play through it, wear a walking boot
Someone's
during the
gonna
week.
hip drop him.
It's gonna.
But at the end of the day, he still can be a pocket passer. Let's say he is injured. I mean, he had the rib injury that he played through, and that's why he didn't 2 years ago, and that's when he didn't get it. The rushing, he didn't get over the rushing yards, but he played the whole season. So he still can be a pocket passer. But yeah, he should be running. Like he's a really underrated athlete, and so yeah, that's going to be a big hit, especially in this offense.
So you asked me my take on the team, and the huge turnover, like everything that there is to like about Harbaugh's teams, the toughness, the team aspect. Like if I was going to pick probably an optimal coach from that perspective, it's Harbaugh. That's what you want. And the fact that he feels confident enough to be able to roll it out at the NFL level is awesome. I also have all these notes that resemble my notes from 2022 and 2021 and 2020 that say, look at all these regression indicators. This is the Chargers year. They're not going to be as injured this year. They're not going to have the turn. Well, they're actually coming off a decent turnover season and injury season, but they do have some regression indicators.
Their turnover differential was 0. So they had equal number turnovers.
I think they were relatively lucky. I whatever. It doesn't matter. The regression indicators this year are actually like wins and losses, and some of that is thrown off by a massive blowout at the end of the year. But how can you not see the same team that always exists? I'm always in on the Chargers.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to get in on this. It just seems like it's not this year. It's next year. Everyone is saying, well, Herbert was hurt last year. That's part of the reason he wasn't playing so well. Well, he's already hurt this year. I think they're still very top heavy when it comes to the roster. It's gonna be very like they're gonna be a competitive team next year. I'm not so sure they are this year.
Yeah, they improved their toughness, the Jim Harbaugh toughness on the offense and the offensive line and the blocking tight ends. But if we keep saying where are linebackers, you've heard me say that, and we didn't add linebackers or size
I remember
for the nose tackle, so we still haven't had that.
I totally forgot where Justin's plan for the draft was draft 7 linebackers, one in each round, with the idea that one of them has to be good. We just need one linebacker. You did bring in Joe Alt, who again, I like the idea of building in the trenches, bringing in Ladd McConkey. I mean, there's not a lot going on at the receiver position. Josh Palmer, DJ Chark, Decker, Will Dissly brought in, probably going to be mostly a blocking tight end. I wouldn't be surprised if they run a lot of 12 personnel. Hayden Hurst.
I like Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst, you think is going to be the number 1 pass catcher in the tight end room, right?
Yeah, I like Hayden Hurst. He's been in really bad QB situations, and you know who I like. What's funny about Harbaugh too is you can kind of get a gauge. Like he keeps everything on his sleeve. Like doesn't really have a poker face. He's been talking a lot about DJ Chark. Like he genuinely loves DJ Chark, and he's been a decent receiver for like 6 years. He may be a guy to look at. So we're getting good things out of him. Joe Alt has been not having a good time.
Oh no!
In training camp so far, he's just getting burned. And there's kind of a flip side to that. You're like Joey Bosa. I don't know how injured he is, but he's like, oh, he beat Joe Alt again. He looks good. Maybe he's healthy.
As someone who has had that kind of optimism before, Decker, it's generally not because the defender is playing at an all-world level.
Yeah.
In
one-on-ones, elite pass rushers should be able to beat the tackle. But to Decker's point, if there's reports in camp that Joe Alt is struggling, that's certainly not a good sign.
He is switching sides, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's maybe he's going to be good
Sean,
in the run game.
What were we worried about, Sean?
What?
That he was tall and he was like the negative on him is he can get bull
Yeah,
rushed.
I mean that's certainly you could.
They're not even getting to that point. Like that, we haven't gotten to that point in camp yet.
You can be too tall, I think, sometimes at the offensive line position. Brennan Rice, Jerry Rice's kid, Decker. Any camp news on Brennan Rice? Do you think he makes the team? Does he have a shot? Are they calling him Jerry 2.0?
That's how you get.
No,
That's how you get
not.
Jerry to show up to camp for free. That was a smart move by Harbaugh.
Everybody likes him. They're saying good things because he's like, he's a smart guy and he knows football. But just out of the breaks, I don't. Does he make the team? I don't know actually. I don't think I'm not counting him as not really a factor
Justin
right now, to be honest.
You just cut Brendan Rice from the team. Let's
Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins. Gus Edwards, if he stays healthy, which I feel like is the Chargers motto, if he stays healthy, Gus Edwards could have a lot of rushing touchdowns.
Very clear. Roman Wilson gave a shopping list, Greg Roman gave a shopping list to the GM and said, "Can you go get these guys?"
Well,
they'll be very cheap.
I like their running, especially. I mean, J.K. Dobbins too. He's been injured the last 2 years. I mean, but he's still so young. You don't really know if you get anything out of him, even for a few games. He can carry you. Who knows? That's but Gus Edwards
Something
is
to
great,
know.
man. Love him.
It does sound like Jarrett Patterson is gonna make this team and gonna be involved in like catching passes, Sean. So it's something to know based on like training camp stuff. I the one surprise to me when I was looking at the running backs is that completely missed on Jarrett Patterson and seems to be running a little, enough with the upper groups that make you believe he could be. I mean, Gus Edwards not a pass catcher. J.K. Dobbins not really reliable.
Yeah, I like their pick Vidal.
Yeah.
I like him a lot, especially his highlights. He's quick and big and came out of a smaller school, right? Troy. I mean, he could be someone like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, one of those guys a few years ago, or an Austin Ekeler who went undrafted.
Oh yeah. Kamani Vidal. So are you taking
first team all Sun Belt 2020?
Ryan, how many shares of Kamani Vidal you think you're going to have in underdog this year?
I have a couple already. I mean, I think with that running back situation, from a fantasy perspective, it's insane to me that people aren't drafting these guys higher. Have you not seen the way that this dude runs his offense? Have you not heard the way that Harbaugh? You watch Michigan at all? Like this team's going to run the ball. They brought in Disley. I mean, they want to have as many tight ends as possible. What do you think this is going to look like? I don't know. Yeah,
I think it's going to be a bunch of play action, pound the rock, and we'll see. I feel like we before we hop into it, any big picture thoughts on the defense, Decker?
I'm not really that impressed. I mean, we got Denzel Perriman back, who was one of the better of the.
There's your linebackers. But you weren't sad when he left.
No, not really. I mean, there's just look at the
drafted Junior Colson. Has he been flashing at all, linebacker?
Yeah, I mean maybe because he's a Michigan guy. He's familiar with Harbaugh, so he's a plug and play guy. I mean, I like that, but when I said we should get all linebackers, it just didn't work out on that. I think Harbaugh just focused on the offensive line and running the ball, but there's no huge additions here. They got Ogbanaya. It's his second year. Puna Ford, maybe he's and that's Bud Dupree. Name. I don't know how much Bud Dupree has left in the tank, but the linebackers are so thin. There's how many do we have?
Seems like the whole team in general. They're
it's going to be a problem.
The scary part about the roster in general, Sean, is that it's pretty shallow. Got some good players at the top.
Yeah.
And it can work for you, like we saw last year with the Rams. They had a very top heavy team.
Yeah, they stay healthy.
Pretty healthy.
You need to catch a couple breaks, and those are the two things the Chargers are worse at in the NFL, which is where I'm concerned. All right, hopefully you've already signed up underdogfantasy.com. If not, what are you waiting for? Get in. Use that promo code SGPN. $15 million in Best Ball Mania. Love me some underdog best ball drafts. Deposit match up to $250 in bonus cash. Get you some pick'ems. We're gonna give out some of our favorite Underdog Fantasy plays for season long when we close things out here. But again, get started today. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. The pick 'em. Again, if you go 8-0, you can win 325 times your entry. They really have a ton of ways to win. Super fun product. Tons of picks to get in on UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Circa Sports, Circa Survivor. They got $16 million in guaranteed prizes, $6 million in the Circa Million, aka the Pro Football Contest. Weekly picks, 100% payback to the players. Circa Survivor. Don't win your office Survivor unless you're going to also play Circa Survivor. Imagine leaving 10 million on the table. Enter Nevada. Play from anywhere. Again, thanks to our proxy.footballcontest.com. Use that promo code SGP. Vegas Maddie will get you hooked up. You get a nice $50 discount there. And of course, come out, hang out with us August 22nd through the 24th, contest weekend. Sign up for the contest, open bar events. What more do you want? And if you use that promo code SGP15, get you 15% off your hotel stay. Circusports.com.
All right, Sean.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like? I mean, I feel like typically I'm fully bought into this is the first year I feel like I'm completely clear of forgetting about the previous year when it comes to looking at a team that's set for regression and improvement.
I like Harbaugh in general to the Chargers. Like they need physicality. They need an identity. That Harbaugh instantly fixes those two problems. They need someone, and I think Herbert's buying in. I think they're going to have like a system. All those close games I think could break right for the Chargers. To Decker's point, though, there's still some holes on the defensive roster. It's still not a very deep roster, and we're already dealing with like a little bit of injury stuff in the plantar fascia. I was like right on the edge, and now I feel like I'm going to go right below the number versus the over. I think the Chargers will be an interesting dog on the money line. I think there's going to be some good spots to play the Chargers.
You mean on the road?
Yeah,
I think like a normal season.
I think they might surprise some teams, but I don't know if I can get over the win total.
Here's what I would say, like from a macro NFL talking points. The entire league, the pendulum has swung to where everyone's playing defense with tiny linebackers, nickel packages, dime packages, 3 safety looks. If a guy did truly come into the NFL with a mindset of we are going to run the ball like it's 1985, it might work. If you build but he's not going to have that roster in year 1, but he's going to build a big ass roster like he has everywhere he's gone. And he's going to play bully ball eventually, which I think he might be able to do really well in the modern NFL because so many of these linebackers and second level guys are just soft.
They're built for pass coverage where if you're slamming it down people's throats,
but it won't be year 1 because the roster, you need another year of roster cleansing.
Also reminder, phrase that pays. We're giving out 1 word per team preview, 32 words combined for a phrase. Submit that phrase at the end of the team previews. 1 lucky winner will get a $500 Circa Future. The Chargers team preview word is conference. Conference is the word, Ryan.
That's mean.
What do you mean it's mean?
Like they can't even win the conference.
That's not where I was going.
Jeez. Has anyone garnered an actual guess at what the phrase is yet?
I did see our buddy Weehawk had AI try and guess the 32 word phrase. He was barking up the right tree. I think if you got all the words so far, you kind of have an idea where it's going. But again, you got to go 32 for 32. So probably not worth trying to submit now. Kramer, let's take a look at the odds here for the Chargers this season. Win total 8.5, make playoffs +110, miss playoffs -130, division +320. That feels pretty low. Conference 22-1, Super Bowl 45-1.
In general, I think the confidence, and I guess we'll go through the schedule to better understand it, but I think the confidence is fair I think I understand why the over is juiced -155, which draws it all the way up to an implied 9, Sean.
Yeah, there are some 9s out there.
And which please just I as much as I hate juice, you can't serve flat win totals. No one wants a push on a 6-month investment. Just move to the half numbers. But the reason people have run to the over and we're seeing it juiced is because of what their schedule looks like, because people did the math and they realized, well, they're going to be favored maybe in more games than they're not.
Yeah.
Easier schedule, really
easy schedule. And you know, like we said earlier, like, well, Harbaugh is going to be healthy, or sorry, Herbert's going to be healthy this year, which maybe a slight tick on that. I do think people are overlooking the absolute lack of talent in the receiver room. Like it's
I mean, you can go thin, but I mean, who's their number one receiver? Josh Palmer?
Josh Palmer. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be interesting to go with. I mean, if you're going to take anybody, Ladd McConkey, he's like the wild card guy. What is he going to do? I mean, if you're going to take a risk, but nobody else is worth even taking a
Ladd
risk
McConkey again. If he's healthy, I think he could be an interesting guy who's going to get you a bunch of easy catches. But I don't know.
All right,
I don't know if he's breaking the field wide open.
Let's go through that schedule because it will. I think we'll get some things cleared up here. Also worth noting, we didn't talk much about the offense, but it is worth noting that while we do like Greg Roman to establish the run, his offenses have passed the ball as well. It does seem like he's been labeled as like a triple option guy, where his offenses pass the ball a lot more than say like Arthur Smith.
Okay.
Just as a benchmark.
Yeah.
Because
it's like play action moving around.
I do think the receivers are important. It's not like you just can't have receivers, which some would say they don't have. All right. Starting out with a little 4-game schedule, quote unquote home game against the Raiders.
Are you going to any games this year, Decker?
I've been to one each last 2 seasons. If they have a Sunday night game, I'll go to it.
Right.
Monday night.
We'll talk about that later. It's a good one. It could be after a concert. I hear.
Yeah.
There's the Raiders to host. I mean, again, a quote unquote home game. As Sean said, we might be looking to take them in cute dog spots away from home. Then at Carolina, at Pittsburgh, and Kansas City at home. All right. So as far as a spread that kind of stood out to me, this Kansas City number, as far as a, okay, I can see, like, if you're looking at our sheet, a lot of green over the course of the schedule, 2 out of 4 games where they're favored by a field goal. I know the Raiders game has it moved up to even 3.5 in some places. I feel like I've seen some 3.5s. All right. I can't allow myself. Are they really? Is Harbaugh really going to beat the Chiefs right out of the bat? Right off, because I normally would say, well, let me just chop up the division games, but I also like the Raiders to win in a road home game.
I think
this is tricky for me.
I think to me they can. I think they can definitely beat the Raiders.
The Raiders are not a good team, man.
No.
The only reason is that spread after the injury news. Probably.
I think it was 3.5.
Yeah, I mean it's just the injury the first week. I mean, but the Raiders are not a good team, man. With a healthy Herbert, that should be.
Oh boy, Decker's so confident.
That should be 5.5.
Whoa.
Yeah, Raiders are pretty bad. Ryan's all in on the Raiders.
Why?
I don't see it.
No.
Aiden O'Connell or
I like the roster. I like
Minshew.
the talent. I think the talent on offense is being overlooked. I think the defense is filled with dogs, and I think the coaching will matter.
Yeah, I agree. I think a guy like Harbaugh, who's coached way more games than a guy like Antonio Pierce, will have a huge edge, especially week 1. I think they can definitely beat Carolina, but then that'll be interesting. Decker, are they going to do
but will they?
Yeah, they're going to do are they going to do a team building thing on the East Coast, or do you think they'll come back to LA? Because they have at Panthers, at Steelers, back-to-back weeks.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
Trip to the Greenbrier.
Yeah, some teams do that, and then they got the Chiefs at home with leading up to the bye. I'll say 2-2.
Harbaugh definitely going to do a sleepover. Any chance to have a sleepover, Harbaugh? So that Steelers game, actually, that might be a bet on spot for the Chargers.
Steelers is a favorite. Never great.
I like them on the road. You're right. So I'll go 2-2.
Why is
Decker?
the Panthers line only 3? Shouldn't that be like 5
Great
and a half
question.
too? What is that?
The Giants are like a pick'em with the Panthers.
The
in
Panthers
Germany. They're horrible.
Are horrible.
I don't get it, Decker.
I don't
Decker, what
know.
are you going?
You're-
3-1?
No, dude. I was gonna go 2-2, but with the wild card, with the injury, and it's only the first game. I mean, should I go? I was gonna go 1-3.
Oh wow.
No, come on,
What?
Decker.
No,
Come
this
on.
injury I think is a big deal. But I had it 2-2 before. Should I leave? I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm
First
going
guy.
with Sean. 2-2.
2-2.
I'm
Let's
also going to go 2-2.
And I think early bye helps you, especially with the
Oh, I love that
injuries
early buy now.
and the new turnover. So yeah, I like the week 5 bye.
Yeah.
All right. You like an early bye here.
Yes.
For this
Okay.
team,
Perfect.
considering they're already
Absolutely.
injured, yes.
Absolutely.
At Denver, a team Sean loves this year. At Arizona on Monday night, New Orleans at home, and then at Cleveland. 3 road games in 4. Again, you can see why people rush to play the over. Another 4-game block where they're favored twice, and they're not catching more than a field goal in any of their games so far. Assuming there's no major news.
It's crazy. They're only a dog of more than 3 points once in the entire season. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, a whole bunch of coin flip games, Sean.
Yeah.
You want to
Classic Chargers football.
take the
But they're going to win the close games this year. This is tough because at Broncos is going to be brutal.
They
but-
always. It does not matter who the quarterback is. Doesn't matter who the coach is. They always struggle in Denver.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But they are coming off the bye, maybe a little different. And then you have a back-to-back road game. Cardinals, who just lost Ojulari, that was a big loss for them. Blew out his ACL. It's a Monday night, not necessarily a hostile crowd there in Arizona. Saints at home. I do like them against Saints at home. At Cleveland, I think it's going to be tough because of Myles Garrett and that defensive line.
This is a tougher. This
And
is
the Browns seem like a almost better version of what the Chargers are trying to do.
Yeah, I don't know how the Browns are going to do this year. To be honest with you, I'm kind of torn on that.
I watched the training camp highlighted Deshaun Watson, and it was him like completing a deep ball. But man, the mechanics, like what I don't think his shoulder's right.
he's just not good. I think we have to realize that they might be good in spite of the quarterback again.
Yeah.
Should have kept Flacco.
I don't know if I can.
Can you go 1-3 here?
They certainly could go 1-3. I don't know if I can get them to 2-2. Decker, what are you doing here?
I think that Saints line -3. Every home game, I think it should be more. Maybe people are finally realizing this team
Do they
isn't
have
good at
fans?
home. I don't think the Saints ever travel well to the.
That's true.
When they were in San Diego, but they're going to win the home game versus the Saints.
Okay.
And I'm just doing this in blocks because those kind of away games are very similar. So I'm just going to say they're going to win one. I don't know which one.
You're not scared of Kyler?
No, I am. I mean,
Oh.
he's a wild card, but I don't know which of the road games. It's probably going to be the Cardinals, just with that style of how fast their defense is. They're not big, but with that matchup is better. So I've got 2-2 again.
I'll go 2-2. I'm with Decker. They'll win one of their road games and they'll beat the Saints.
1-3.
1-3. Ryan with the tall glass of haterade over
And then
there.
we have 3 straight home games starting in week 10. Titans, where they are first time we're talking about the Chargers laying more than a field goal. Then you have the Bengals, which I have a feeling some Cincy fans might show up in Los Angeles. Actually, all 3 of these teams, their fans are going to show up in Los Angeles. So Titans, Bengals, and Ravens on Monday night, and then at Falcons. I mean, the Falcons are going to be a winnable game for everyone on my schedule because
although it's kind of a tough spot. Like you have the look ahead
it's a
towards
sandwich
at
spot.
Chiefs, and it's a road game after a short week against a physical Ravens team, right? But it's also the brother pull. I mean, Harbaugh versus Harbaugh.
And
you
Decker.
don't think he
that
has
may
his
be the
dates?
one I go to.
Decker.
Well, and that's the other
Can
thing.
we get a clip of Decker's eyes just getting
Yeah.
bigger and bigger, realizing he's going to the
Oh,
Ravens
yeah.
game this year?
Well, so at Falcons,
Will the power go out like last time?
Oh, that's crazy. At
Oh, yeah.
Falcons, I think would normally be a winnable spot, but how
Oh,
can it
all
not be
right.
a letdown after this Ravens? This is a tough sandwich. Ravens at home Monday night, and then at Falcons at Chiefs. So I feel like they might let down against the Falcons. Like they could beat the Ravens and then lose to the Falcons. I think I don't think they. I think they go 2-1 in their home games. I think the Titans or Bengals, maybe both.
By point spread, this is
tough.
the only quadrant where there are dogs in more games than they're favored.
I'll go 2-2, just because I think they might shock the world with the Ravens one.
I'm gonna go 2-2 as well. I'll even call these ones because I think that they're gonna do they're gonna win the Titans game and the Falcons game just based off of matchups. Okay. They have a chance to match up well against the Bengals, but I don't know. Joe Burrow seems to be healthy this year, and they're ready to go. 2-2.
So Decker's got him 6-6. I'm 6-6. Kramer, you're 3-5 before this quadrant. What do you have?
I think they might go 1-3 here.
Okay. Wow. Ryan has the Chargers bottoming out here at 4-8. It's not the that's not the Harbaugh I know.
At Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, Bucks at home, Broncos at home, at Patriots, at Raiders. I mean, will the Chargers fans return serve and take over the Death Star
Las
in
Vegas?
Las Vegas?
Probably not.
A lot of extras in Vegas. You could hire zombies for cheap out there.
We should we should hire that actress who played the Chargers fan. To, if Decker's any days Decker can't make it over for Sunday football, we just hire that woman. Be a fun Photoshop for Jake.
Shit.
That Chargers woman. Well, isn't she also like a Ravens fan or something? They found
She was a
Vikings.
Vikings fan, and then she moved with
I
her
lived in
husband.
Vikings.
Yeah,
It's different conferences. I'll give her a pass.
Okay.
yeah.
I think 2-3, and this kind of feels right. 8-9 on the under. Where there might like this.
See, to me, this is where Harbaugh gets a little win streak. They lose against the Chiefs, and they rattle off 3 in a row.
So you got him going 3-2.
I think so.
Same
Maybe
with
even
me.
four in a row to end the season. But what's 3-2 get?
So Decker, you have him 3-2.
Yep, got him 3-2.
So 9-8. So Decker has him just over 8.5 wins. Ryan, should I adjust my prediction? I mean, Decker seems to be talented on the win total.
No, this the same thing happened last year. Don't adjust it up.
No, Decker was right. Decker was on the under. We were the ones who were on the over. Now it's the exact opposite. Decker's on the over. We're on the under.
I mean, I don't think they make the playoffs with a 9-8. So this is an interesting one because they make the playoffs. What was that line?
So I do.
Chargers?
That is one of my favorite.
Bring the odds
bets.
back up, Josh. Let's see what we're looking at.
Because I'll say.
Something. Yeah, 130. Yeah, I think that misses the playoffs, but I mean, I don't know. I have faith in Harbaugh and the running game. It's a tough team now. They don't have the players on defense. That's simple as that.
Yeah, I think miss playoffs to me I'll officially give out under 8.5 wins, but I'm going to add to my sheet here miss playoffs at -130 because then you're even if they do get 9 wins, you have some tiebreaker situations where maybe they don't get in. So I'll take the missed playoffs.
And I just want to say this about Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Keenan Allen it's tough that he's gone more than Mike Williams because he
should have a eulogy.
He's the safety blanket. And love Keenan Allen, but in the games that Keenan Allen was injured and didn't play, it's not like Herbert just completely regressed. He still was producing at an above average level of quarterbacks. So I mean, I understand that this is a new group of receivers and stuff, but I don't think it's going to be horrible. I don't think his numbers are going to regress that bad. He's still not going to turn the ball over. He's still great at not turning the ball over, and that's what Harbaugh loves. So, for what it's worth, guys.
That was I saw what you were doing there. You're already setting Harbaugh up to be the scapegoat. It's not Herbert's fault. Sean, so what was my final record?
You had them San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers 7-10.
Okay, that sounds about right. So we have done 3 teams from this division now.
Yeah.
Your record for the Broncos was 9-8. Mine was 5-12. Your record for the Raiders was 6-11. Mine was 10-7.
Okay.
Wow, you guys are way on other sides there.
And now we sit. You're at 8-9, 7-10. How you feel? It feels pretty. I feel pretty good where I'm at with.
I'll go 6-11 for the Raiders.
Oh, nice.
And 8-9 for the Broncos.
Oh.
Bonus AFC West predictions from Decker. We will give out some props we like, some best bets before we do that. Shout out to Rhythm, our best bet when it comes to AI picks projections. They just dropped their NFL for games here. I got a couple plays off the old rhythm model. Ryan, I know. Well, we haven't really even talked early college football, but August 31st, UNLV Houston. Right now, Houston's laying 2.5. Rhythm has this way off. They think Houston should be laying 8.1 points against UNLV, the running Rebels. So they really like that play. College Football Pro, you can come up with your own models. It's pretty fun because you go in, you say like, hey, these stats matter to me. This is what I want you to build a model on. It'll tell you how that model is performed. It'll crunch all the numbers. The MIT nerds take care of it, and we take care of you with a free 7-day trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. We're also brought to you by Game Time. I'm gonna check out some Game Time tickets right now. GameTime.co using the promo code SGPN. Looking at some. It's your go-to tickets for. Sorry, your go-to app for last-minute tickets. Promo code SGPN. Brian, what do you think the price is for the upcoming preseason game, Seahawks at Chargers?
Cheapest?
Yes.
I'm gonna say you can get in the building without fees. I'm $22.
Pre-fees.
$22.
Pre-fees. The cheapest. Now this is okay. So all in pricing, including all the fees, whatever.
Okay.
Cheapest price. Cheapest.
All in pricing. Cheapest.
All in.
We'll go $42.
All right, Ryan. Breaking news.
It's Los Angeles. You know.
Breaking news, Justin. We're gonna send you and your wife to the Seahawks at the Chargers. Tickets are only $8 with all the fees.
Wait, how are they?
$8.
I
with
just
the
bought
fees?
tickets. It was more than $8.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying.
It is up there. Section 536.
Doesn't matter. The scoreboard's big.
Yeah, you get a big scoreboard, and I mean, honestly,
stadium,
pretty fun.
Open air.
I mean, think about it. You can bet on preseason football, have a couple beers, go hang out at the stadium, walk around, especially like a stadium like SoFi. It's a hang, man. Go there.
Absolutely.
Catch some waves in the morning, go check out a preseason football game in the afternoon. Promo code SGPN gets you $20 off. GameTime.co. Promo code SGPN. A lot of tickets available for this preseason game. So I'm about you could probably now they don't tell me to include this in the app, but if you're going to a preseason game at SoFi Stadium, you could probably just walk up to the lower rows. No one's checking. Come on.
Oh, I'm sure they they probably have all the security there to make sure that no, sir, you're not allowed in this section.
Ryan, couple so official plays for me. Missed playoffs -130.
Oh, okay.
Gus Edwards. We talked about this, I think, on the VSiN show. Gus Edwards most rushing touchdowns 70-1.
You dog.
That one. Are you on that as well, right, Ryan?
Of course.
I mean,
man, I like that one.
because
that's a great one.
Him to have a Jamal Williams type season. Like it's like all the rushing touchdowns. They're not going to use, especially now with this foot thing. They're not going to use Herbert. Like who else are they going to use now? Maybe Kamani Vidal. Really takes off, and that's maybe there's some interesting stuff we can discuss for him. But yeah, I like the Gus Edwards. Gus staying healthy, and goes nuts. So
absolutely.
What else do you like, Ryan?
Well, I did. It's how much do you like Ladd McConkey? Assuming health and all that.
It's tough with those guys like that. I mean, he could be Hunter Renfrow in 2022, and then
he's
Hunter Renfrow 2023. It's like who knows? I
those pictures.
I like him. I like his highlights. He's quick. He's a possession receiver.
Is it because he's white that you are reserved?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to see.
Come on, can we be honest, please?
It's a white angle. I mean,
but then Julian Edelman. Look at him.
No, I do think his most receptions in the NFL, Sean, has been steamed down to 75-1.
Ooh.
It's
I might go like most rookie receptions.
Maybe, but that price was like 300-1 at one point. So it's almost there's not even a ton that you can do with it at that point. Yeah, the Gus Edwards, anything you can play around Gus Edwards, with touchdowns. They don't have the division touchdown markets open. I certainly, if you can, any sort of underdog is not offering this, but Gus Edwards touchdown prop higher, over, more, whatever.
Well,
whatever
I
in.
do like Lad McConkey. My official underdog play is going to be Lad McConkey lower 4.5 receiving touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
I just think that's a lot of receiving touchdowns for a rookie, especially if he's dealing with an injury. But him getting healthy and racking up a bunch of catches, I don't mind that. But I think 4.5 receiving touchdowns for a rookie, it sounds low, but I think it's actually a little harder to get to than you might think. So, I mean, if you like passing yards or receiving yards, Josh Palmer at 700.5 to me feels really low. Like, I think he's going to be their number one receiver. So
they've played together for a while. Yeah, we've heard, like we already mentioned, DJ Chark. That may be a good one. Quentin Johnson has looked horrible, just dropping everything.
Sean, that's my underdog play.
Okay,
they're offering Quentin Johnston at $599.5.
What?
I don't think he's not listed as a starter. I don't think he got four. Let me get this right. He got 431 yards last year in relatively limited time. As Decker's pointing out, the reports on him early are not good.
No, they're not.
It seems like he could be one of those guys that they just get rid of.
Yeah, he could. And people are just thinking Keenan Allen's gone, Mike Williams. Yeah. He's going to step up in his second year. No, seriously, like that's way high. I didn't know that number actually.
Oh, Decker's.
I would go under that. That's like my second favorite pick that we've said on this show.
Decker loves lower $599.5.
Yeah. 589, but I'll give that out one.
What do you mean? I'm looking at the screen right now.
You have a different number than me.
599.
I'm seeing 589.5.
All right. I see 5. Let me hit refresh.
Let's see. Are they messing with are they rejiggering the numbers right in front of us right?
No, I think what my account's it is 89 now.
More drops
me
going
clicking on it
on TikTok.
Me clicking on it.
Sharp alert. Sharp alert.
This happened in spring football on a certain offshore.
So Ryan, so far for you, I have the Quentin Johnson lower 589.5 receiving yards. Gus Edwards most rushing touchdowns. Do you want to add in the under 8.5 wins? I assume.
I think the under is probably a good way to play it.
Okay.
Do you think I kind of what's the, let me see what the juice is just to make, all right, so +1. Yeah. I think under 8.5 +130 to me is a better bet than miss playoffs -130.
Okay.
Well, I think so if they go over, they're likely to make the playoffs.
9-8. I don't know. In this AFC, I don't know if you get in at 9-8.
I think you're at least in the mix potentially. Win some tiebreakers like the Harbaugh Bowl. Who knows?
Yeah, like there's going to be a couple teams out of the Central, the South, and then I don't know. Actually, West is weak.
I think there's
then it's going to be the Bills and the Dolphins.
I think that's actually an interesting bet. If you can bet on the AFC West to have 2 playoff teams, because I think they're probably pretty far long shots to be the team. Or I guess maybe the Chargers are in there, but maybe you're like me and you like the Raiders, but either way,
I do think for whatever reason they don't have the division rush leaders open, but Kamani Vidal as a long shot to lead the AFC West in rushing yards. That could be interesting because all you need is a good
one. No other team really have a number one or Javonte Williams.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be Zamir White, but
do we know how to say his name? Because I've heard
Kamani Vidal.
I've heard a pronunciation that I don't have set to memory yet. That sounds nothing like that.
No, I actually don't know. I know it's Vidal. I don't know if it's.
Yeah,
it should be Kamani.
It was something that shocked me, and I remember thinking like, oh, I should go back and look at this. And as you guys are saying it, I'm realizing I didn't actually go back and look at that.
So Decker, I got you. So what are you doing here? You like the Quentin Johnson 589.5 under that.
Yeah.
What else? What else are you playing here?
This team is just really tough. They're going to spread stuff. I like Hayden Hurst over yards. They still have. So he's been
in with a tight end prop.
No, but I mean, it's got to be kind of low.
No, I know. I'm giving you a hard time because this is a classic Decker prop.
Yeah, he's just been his situations with quarterbacks and their injuries throughout the years. He's better than what his stats show, they still have Parham. Like they're going to spread it out. Who knows what they're going to do on the goal line other than just to give it to Edwards?
Yeah, so like first touchdown, I think could be interesting because I think Will Dissly, Donald Parham, Hayden Hurst, they're all live because I don't think they know what they're going to do. Edwards, Vidal, like I think any of the long shot stuff for the first touchdown market is going to be fun to be betting on for this Los Angeles Superchargers. So you like Hayden Hurst over receiving yards? Okay.
I'm not
officially?
I don't even know what it is to be honest because I couldn't find a number on that.
Yeah,
either.
it's still kind of a little early. So over 8.5 wins, Decker.
Yeah,
really?
missed playoff over the 8.5 wins.
So all right, I like your. This is a very fun.
That'd be a weird
hedge.
thing to parlay. I don't know if I would advise
Really
parlaying that.
Thread the needle here.
It's a weird thing.
So
to,
you'll
root
probably
for.
win one of these. If you win both, you're a fucking genius. Any other plays you like, Decker? Anything on Herbert, or is the injury scaring you off? What else you got on that sheet there?
Do you have Decker's stat, or do you have?
I didn't mention how much I love the coaches, so can I just throw that in?
Yeah,
Shane
sure.
Day did well with CJ Stroud. Shane Day originally worked with Herbert. He's back. Minter, love him. Keep an eye on the strength and conditioning coach, Ben Herbert.
Oh wow!
Okay, because we've had like literally the worst guys.
Let's hear about
fucking love this guy. I love his attitude. I love that he went to Wisconsin, Michigan, but so many guys in the NFL. He's got beefy beefers, just beefs them up and just keeps them healthy.
So
Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna send the.
But they don't have stats, so I don't think I have any other as far as offensive guys. I don't know. Hayden Hurst, Vidal. DJ Chark. Yeah.
Decker was getting really aroused on that.
Well, yeah.
Strength and conditioning coach.
I just sent. I just sent over a photo. This is the strength
Herbert.
and conditioning coach.
Oh wow.
What's his name? Ben Herbert? No relation.
He's thick.
No relation. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he looks pretty ripped. He's got an Apple Watch. You know, he's serious about fitness. Should be pretty fun.
I have another angle for you. I brought us to the points market the other day.
Well, sorry, real quick. No lies in the chat saying I mentioned him earlier in the chat. He is a stud. I got fired up hearing him talk about buying a shop vac from Home Depot. All right, let's see if we can find that clip. But what were you saying, Kramer?
I'm gonna give you a banger.
Okay.
All right. So we talked about the total points recently.
Yes.
For the first time. Well, they set and I understand that some of this, I guess, is related to the new kickoff rule. But the Chargers last year, Sean, how many points do you think they scored in the 2023 season? If you remember last time we were talking about, let's see, who were we talking about last time? Seahawks, and they scored 364.
Okay.
So how many did the Chargers score last year?
Last year, Chargers 378.
346.
Okay.
This year, these donkeys 371 and a half. That team was all over the place. Harbaugh is going to be very methodical. They are going to be playing to a lot of unders. I'm taking under that point total.
Under 371 points. Okay.
Well, it also gives me a little Herbert misses a couple of games because of injury.
Oh wow, Ryan wishing injury on.
I'm not wishing injury.
I mean,
He's
he may miss the first game.
I don't. I'm not going to touch that because I think there is a world where they catch a couple teams off guard. Harbaugh out coaches them. They have like a 40-point game against the Panthers that throws this off. I think there could be a couple like nice wins for the Chargers.
We had some training camp footage on in the office, and they cut to the Chargers a lot because it's local. And there's just this shot. It's like the kind of the wide shot. They ended up using a zoom shot of it later, but it was a wide shot of Harbaugh kind of standing in the middle of the field, like with his weird, like kind of crooked over posture, as if he was like he couldn't find something, and he's like looking at the different. And it was just one of these moments where it's like I really don't want to fade this, but at the same time, are we sure he's just gonna have this team cooking? Because it was like this old man where like he was just holding his back, just looking around like football.
Pull the Zeke. That Z
just
clip is great.
pulled
That's
a.
just the way he looks in khakis. He just looks like has dad energy. He threw out the first pitch in Chicago, and he brought his own cleats and
Yeah.
pads.
that
He's
is
just
pretty
a,
rad.
Like, he's
Him
just
and
like a
they-
super intense dad.
Harbaugh, yeah, he still brings his glove to the ballpark.
Yeah.
100%.
One of those guys.
All right, let's take a look here of all our favorite plays, aka best bets that we're getting down on for the 2024 Los Angeles Chargers season.
Yeah,
Anyone else you want to toss up?
no,
there?
my optimistic play is the Gus Edwards one.
Yeah, the 70-1 long shot I think is fun.
I think if you have a
Yeah.
take on the receivers, you can try you can try the division market. The problem is I don't think the prices are all that good. The receptions with Lad McConkey, it seems like everyone's betting
Onto
that.
that.
Maybe you want a long shot, you go look at like DJ Chark or Palmer to lead the division in yards. But it seems like those should be almost longer odds.
Kumani Vidal, AFC West rush leader. I will be playing that once we can get a number. Assuming it's going to be a long shot. Lad McConkey lower receiving touchdowns. Quentin Johnston lower, 589.5 receiving yards. Decker, you like that? Decker has him going 9-8, over 8.5 wins, but not getting in the playoffs.
Back to my old ways. It looks like
Hayden Hurst over receiving yards. Kramer not buying into the Chargers Kool-Aid, has him down to 7-10, and he likes the under 371 points. Gus Edwards, most rushing touchdowns, 70-1. Decker, it would not be a Los Angeles San Diego Superchargers episode if we didn't get you to sing the song. So can we get a rendition of the?
Well, I was thinking not today, to be honest, boys. I kind of lost my singing voice
wow.
recently. If you don't mind, we got a new coach and a kind of a fresh start.
I like
different
this.
energy.
I like this.
And I actually wrote.
Hold
You're
on,
not gonna believe this, but I wrote.
gotta
I wrote
Go
a poem.
solo. Go solo.
Yeah, we gotta go. Well, as solo as we can get here. Swap out
Yeah.
to this thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
here
actually,
we
Let me
I actually wrote a poem, guys.
let me get off the screen.
Spuds is making a
So
cameo.
yeah, get Spuds closer. This is a poem that I wrote, and it's called "Better Than: An Ode to Football in the Harbaugh Style." New day, New Year's Day, feels like coming out of the womb. Who's locked, cocked, and ready to rock? Got it. Steel sharpens steel. Better. If worms had machine guns, then birds would be afraid of them. Then us. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
Let's go.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go.
Amazing piece of poetry.
San Diego.
Let's go.
Superchargers charged.
In stereo. Always appreciate the great one, Justin Decker. Follow him on X at Justin Decker. Great, our poet laureate of SGPN.
Thank you.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, Stack of the Money Green. He's Ryan
Wow.
Kramer. Let it ride.